Versus traditional art. The question I'm going to be answering in this video is, how do these styles affect each other? Could digital progression result in the disappearance of traditional ways? What advantages and disadvantages do they have? And along with this, I have two side questions that couldn't make it into my main question, but I'll also be answering them, which are, is one of them better? If yes, which one? And is digital art a valid art style? Art has been around for a very long time in human history, and now with this newer option available, the way people express themselves personally and culturally can be affected. So I made it my quest to go and answer these questions because it seems that with so many options, people can get confused and frustrated. This can lead to many people giving up on using art as a medium to express themselves, and art is a very important part of our lives, and we can find it in a lot of places. My goal is to answer my questions and to get my answers out in the world for other people. And to get these answers, I will explore both digital art and traditional art and use other artists' inputs to keep my answers as less biased as I can. So I made a plan to explore and learn more about digital art because I have more experience in traditional art styles and done and learned them. So I used YouTube and Google to learn how to do digital art. I was going to learn and compare them myself, then get an insight on how other artists felt about them. I knew quite a bit about quite a few sort of major art styles that I learned in my own time and in grade 8 and 9 art class. Painting, sketching, and shading are some I worked on in my own time, and colored pencil drawings, sculpting, and surreal art are things I learned and explored in school art class. And my knowledge about digital art was basically blank except for the videos I saw of them online. So that's where most of my work was going to be placed. Learning about art, digital art, and trying it. My progress for digital art was sort of like this. I started by looking for software and apps. This is a list of some that I looked into. In the end, I settled with Autodesk Sketchbook and started learning about it. These are two videos I looked at, the first one being for the desktop app and the second one for mobile. Even though I used the mobile app, I still looked into the desktop video. After that, I stumbled upon 3D digital art. In my game and app design class, we learned how to make 3D digital art using an app called Blender. In class and a little outside, I made some for myself. Continuing my learning about digital art, I ran into some more styles: photography, animation, and Photoshop. These count as digital art styles because digital art includes art that is created using technology. I spent a lot of time learning and practicing these. So, personally, it is easier for me to create traditional art, and I personally prefer it because of the longer experience I have had with it, and because I am more used to and comfortable with having a problem that may have arisen to be in the same dimension as I am, because, again, for me, it is easier to navigate. But with traditional styles, you have limited supplies, you have to keep restocking after a while. Whereas with most digital art platforms, you pay them once and have unlimited access to that item, excluding Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator and other Adobe software, which you have to pay monthly for. But in some cases, they can fall cheaper than art supplies, especially if you are getting good quality supplies. And some digital art apps, like the one that I used, are free. Digital art also has an advantage when it comes to mistakes. They can be undone easily with a click of the undo button, or if the mistake is some ways back, you can get rid of it by deleting the certain layer. Some mistakes you make in traditional art can become quite costly, both money-wise and effort-wise. But again, on the other hand, traditional art has more originality. It is impossible so far to create an exact replica of something traditionally, while it is much easier to copy-paste or trace something digitally. Digital art does have tools to help you do art more easily, but sometimes using those tools, it can make your image very pixelated. I learned much like traditional art takes years of practice and skill development, you have to develop in digital art too. In the amount of time I had, I tried to learn and develop these skills, but I could not bring them to the level of my traditional art skills. From blogs and other sites, I got these arguments. Traditional styles give more of a hands-on experience that you could not gain from digital art making. You learn the use of more and many different materials much better. And there is a uniqueness in traditional styles. Hand movements will differ a little even, and each time you will come with a slightly different result. As proven, humans cannot replicate anything to its 100%. Problem solving is easier digitally, and my sites argued how much of a good thing that is. The increased difficulty in traditional styles improve our problem solving skills, versus our hours of effort are less likely to go to vain if they must. As a pro for digital, we also see that people have increased access to digital devices versus traditional supplies, making art more available to some. And in cases, digital art can also be a convenience. It's easier to work on the go, collab by sharing, and sharing your artwork. You also have increased productivity. You have to spend less time cleaning up when it comes to digital styles. But a common thing for both of these are you need skills. The next thing I looked at to help get the answer to my questions was the definition of art. This is a definition I got using dictionary.com. Art is the expression or application of human creative skill and imaginations, typically in a visual form. These are some pictures I took while I was exploring these digital styles. If I'm going too fast, you can pause and look at the pictures. And this slide has some artwork that I did digitally. Over here, the middle picture is something I tried before having too much experience in it, and the one on the very left side is after a lot of practice. These are some 3D digital artwork. And these are some of my paintings. The very top one is me recreating that digital art piece but traditionally. These are links to my other videos. I will also put them in the description box. And so these are some links to my YouTube videos. These are linked to some of my other videos. I will also link them in the description box. One of them is a follow along digital drawing, and another one is a follow along of turning that digital drawing into a painting. Now, the answer to this question is a little complex, but I'll explain it to the best of my abilities. One effect they had on each other is creating a big debate. Which is better? Which should I do? Other than that, both styles can do a great job together. If you keep an open mindset towards both of them, skills and abilities in both can complement one another. Keeping a closed or narrow mindset can limit you. So the answer to part, maybe even a huge chunk of this question, depends on who is looking at it. And as far as the threat of traditional art disappearing goes, it won't be happening ever, or at least anytime soon, because traditional styles have a whole different effect and feel that cannot yet be created digitally. Which one is better? Easy. Neither. You can't really pick one because they have some things that are just not comparable. They stand alone, but you can still use them alongside one another. And is digital art a valid art style? Yes. Looking at the definition of art, digital art does belong. And for the advantages and disadvantages, here's a simple list. I will also link this Prezi in the description box. I hope this helped you answer your questions. If not, ask them in the comments and I'll see if I can answer them. Thanks for watching.